A horrific report out of the war in Ukraine. Russia has reportedly held at least 6,000 Ukrainian children in camps aimed at re-education in what could constitute a war crime. According to a study by Yale's Humanitarian Research Lab, children as young as 4 months have been taken to 43 camps across Russia for pro-Russia patriotic and military-related education, and in some cases, adoption and forced adoption. Russia has cast the effort as saving orphans or bringing children from medical care. Some parents were pressured to give consent to send away their children, sometimes with hopes they would return, the report said. The study, which describes the report as a giant Amber Alert, says the Putin aides have closely been involved in the operation. Take a listen to what the State Department spokesperson Ned Price had to say on the matter.
The report indicates how these abusive practices involve officials and other individuals at all levels of Russia's government. Putin seeks to rob Ukraine of its future by taking its children. Russia's system of forced relocation, re-education, and adoption of Ukraine's children is a key element of the Kremlin's systematic efforts to deny and suppress Ukraine's identity, its history, and its culture. The devastating impacts of Russia's failing war of aggression will be felt for generations to come. This report and others like it reinforce U.S. and international resolve to pursue accountability for Russia's war crimes and other atrocities in Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Joining me now is political and international security analyst Martin Himmel. Martin, thank you for joining me this morning.
Sure.
A very concerning and horrifying report. How unprecedented is a practice like this?
It is not a usual practice. It's actually against international law. You can't take children from quote unquote occupied territory or territory you conquered and move it into the assailant's homeland. Not to mention the fact taking children away from parents, because not all these children are orphans. And re-education is a pretty brutal thing. The only thing I can think of close to that in our time, though it probably doesn't just involve children, it involves mostly adults, is what's gone on in China with the Uyghurs in trying to invoke oppressive re-education efforts to change one's ideology or outlook or religion.
Right. Has Russia ever been accused of this practice in the past?
Not that I know of. They certainly have, in the past, moved populations from territories they've conquered or taken to other areas. Stalin did that quite effectively during the early 20th century, moving Chechens to other parts of the country, moving populations around, but not in recent times.
Martin, it's not the only war crimes Russia is accused of. Where does Russia stand with the tribunal, and how could Russia be prosecuted for war crimes?
Well, it's very hard to prosecute Russia because it's one of the members of the Security Council. It has veto power there as well. It's a quasi superpower still. And so it has too much political power to really be prosecuted. It can't be isolated out of the international arena, out of international norms. That's basically happened in many ways already. Russia is facing numerous allegations of war crimes by killing civilians on a very major scale in Ukraine. So it's not easy to prosecute. It's not like Sudan or any of those other countries. It has a lot of power, especially in the UN Security Council.
Guess we'll have to see the outcome of the war and how it affects the legal proceedings against Russia. Martin Himmel, political and international security analyst, thank you very much for joining me this morning.
Thank you.